Hello there and welcome back to another review. So today we're going to be having a look at Sammo Hung's 1992 Kung Fu swordplay movie that is Moon Warriors. It's a movie he directed that he isn't actually in. I've got a copy of it here. I've owned this movie a couple of times. I had it on VHS back in the day. I've got two copies of it from Hong Kong Legends. This is the one that come free with the magazine. This is the one I just grabbed quickly to do this review. But we're going to be having a look at Moon Warriors here today. And it's funny actually, Sammo, as I say, in the early 90s, he'd sort of fallen out with Golden Harvest at this point. So he was sort of doing his own films. And it's funny that with Moon Warriors, he actually went around this time. Sammo went down sort of the swordplay sort of route. There was this movie. There was also Blade of Fury with T. Leung and Cynthia Khan, which he had a cameo in that. But looking at Moon Warriors today with Andy Lau, Maggie Cheung, Anita and Kenny B. And this was an odd sort of period for Sammo Hung. Like I say, he just finished with Golden Harvest, and another movie he was in at the time was sort of Kung Fu Cult Master around this time. I think that was 93, 94 with Jet Li. And it's not that any of these movies are bad by any means during this period for Sammo, but his heyday at Golden Harvest was over, and it's all part of Sammo's like sort of 90s output. Where although some of the films were great and were made and involved Sammo, they're maybe not as instantly classic as sort of his Golden Harvest heyday period. But they still, some of the movies from Sammo in the 90s, they are. Some are better than others, some are a lot better than others, but there's a lot to be enjoyed with the one we're looking at today. So Moon Warriors is Sammo purely in the director's chair, and this was a movie I remember seeing a trailer for way back in the day. I remember it actually really well because I'd got it was Christmas, I think it was Christmas 96, 97 time, and I got Drunken Master on VHS, the classic dub Drunken Master from Made in Hong Kong label. And on that, they had a trailer for Moon Warriors. Now, I was sort of relatively new. I'd not seen anything outside of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan at that point, but I remember vividly seeing this trailer from Made in Hong Kong. I think I've just said Hong Kong Legends, but Made in Hong Kong was the label. Get confused with all these labels. But yeah, the VHS was from Made in Hong Kong. And I couldn't wait to see it. The fights looked the most aggressive I'd ever seen. And if you ever do watch, you'll get to see that original Made in Hong Kong trailer. You just look how awesome and epic they make Moon Warriors look, because they make it look absolutely phenomenal. It's still a great movie, but sometimes you see a trailer and it makes the film look better a little bit than it actually is. That's what the Made in Hong Kong trailer did. But if you ever see that old trailer, just make sure to check it out because it just makes it look awesome and epic. And it's actually one of Sammo Hung's most shortest movies, coming in at around 80 minutes. And this is it's a good movie. It is a really good movie. I mean, come on, we have Andy Lau, Anita, we have Maggie Cheung. I mean, Anita and Maggie would team up a year after this for Johnny To's heroic trio. And speaking of Andy Lau, there will be a lot of movie reviews from him coming up. I've got through a lot of Jackie's, got through quite a number of Sammo, still quite a number of Jet Li's I've got to do. But Andy Lau, Chow Yun-fat, and guys like that, I've really got to get some reviews out of some of their work, because Andy Lau's, I say, input is not to be underestimated. He's been in loads of films, loads and loads of movies, so there will be a lot of reviews from him coming up in the future. As I say, the guy's output in the Hong Kong movie world is just ridiculous. Like so many movies. We got Moment of Romance, we got Rich and Famous, we got Saviour of the Soul, and I think actually Andy Lau, I think in the 90s alone, I think he made over 50 movies just in the 90s. That's how, he's one of these guys who just seems like he was always busy, always working, always on a project. Just one of these guys, as well as having a successful singing career. I mean, this is a man that likes to keep busy. But what you get with Moon Warriors is maybe not Sammo's finest work, but you get some amazing choreography. The locations are gorgeous to look at. You get a story that does have some emotional weight to it, with a love triangle going on. Visually, it's hard to fault Moon Warriors, as the film looks absolutely sensational. And take nothing away from the music too. I think a reason as to why this film was so short is because I think everyone's schedule was so jam-packed. I think Sammo just sort of had to make the most of sort of people when they were available, because bear in mind this was 92. Maggie Cheung was busy shooting Police Story 3 as well that same year. She also done Twin Dragons with Jackie Chan as well. So there was a lot. Maggie was busy. We knew, like I say, I think everybody was just really busy. So I think she was only available for like a couple of days or something like that. as I say, I think Maggie especially had like limited availability, and Sammo and his team make Andy look amazing, despite the fact Andy Lau had no sort of formal kung fu and combat training, but they make him look awesome in this movie. And this was another one of their movies when people were like, like when people were falling over themselves when Crouching Tiger come out. I absolutely love Crouching Tiger, awesome film, great film, but it's sort of, I always remember when that came out, I was so annoyed with people because I was sort of like, I've seen this stuff before. This is what I've been watching like for the past 10 years. Like, have you seen Iron Monkey? Have you seen Moon Warriors? It was one of them movies like, have you seen, it's like Crouching Tiger, have you seen it? Oh, they fly through the trees and everything. I'm like, go and check out Moon Warriors. Go and check out Yuen Ping's Iron Monkey. It's been done. Ang Lee just made it for the masses. That's all that happened. But taking nothing away from Crouching Tiger, but and the fight scenes in this can't be praised enough. As I say, like they're aggressive in this film. They're really aggressive fight scenes, and it's really cool. Really cool. Very fast. Vastly different from sort of the grace and comedic wire work you get in sort of a Yuen Ping film. And this is Sammo doing fast, furious, aggressive, new wave saw play, and it's worth checking out for that alone. I'd say that, and the cast involved, the music, I'd say really good. The music is better than it has any right to be. It's a great score in this film. And as soon as the film starts, one thing you will notice is the quality, like I mentioned, the quality of that score by James Wong. So we meet Maggie and Kenny B, who are on the run. Look out for Chin Kar-lok here, sporting a very nice moustache. Very bit weird seeing Chin Kar-lok with his very thick moustache. Anybody would think it was from the props department, but yeah, he's got this thick tash going on. We then meet Andy Lau's fisherman, Faye, who is living the happy life, cutting down some trees, and realises that someone is hiding underneath them. Kenny and Maggie get ambushed by these goons in black. Andy comes to their aid, and like I mentioned, just check out the ferociousness to these fight scenes. It's real. There's nothing sort of stylized and graceful about any of these scenes. Like every fight, they're going at it. Like they are really going at it. Everything is being thrown in there. So it's like a full-blown assault. Like everything is full on. And it's nice to see Maggie Cheung here in fighting mode too. So Andy sort of befriends them and invites them back to his to stay. Again, I know I've said it before, but Maggie Cheung is just so amazing, right? She's just absolutely amazing. She's just got it all. She can act. She is funny. She's beautiful. She's got it all. She's got it all. As you can tell, you had a bit of a crush on Maggie Cheung sort of back in the day. But, being serious, like anything she's in, she's fantastic in it. Like she's really great. Anita Moy as well. But Maggie Cheung, she just has, especially like I say, in Iceman Cometh, like probably acting wise, probably the best role she's ever been. She's amazing in Iceman Cometh, and like I say, seeing her here on fight mode is just cool. So they go back and have some shark fin soup, and Kenny plays sort of this 13th prince, and he tells Maggie they must join forces with Lord Lan Ning. We then meet our villain, played by Kelvin Wong, who you'll most likely remember from Super Cop, and he plays the 14th prince, who just wants to basically get rid of Kenny. That's sort of his whole plot. He just wants to get rid of this other one prince wants to get rid of another prince. That's all that's really going on. Sort of wants to replace him on the throne, and his introduction is awesome. First he snaps one of his men's head off with his bow, then he shoots aforementioned head into the wall and then sets it alight. Now if that isn't an epic death scene, I don't know what is. Like he sort of, like I say, cuts this guy's head off, goes into the wall, sets it on. You'll have to see it. It's a death scene. It's not only that, but the flames spell out the Chinese symbol for heaven and earth when he sets it on the fire. So after watching Faye play with his whale, Wei, the prince spots his pursuers and Faye leads them through a cave system. It's a bit like a Shaw Brothers movie in a way, with this group of people on the run trying to avoid their pursuers who want them dead. So through this cave system that leads to the royal tomb of the Yen family, we learn from Kenny that the throne has been stolen from him, and his family built 72 tombs to avoid robbers, some of which are fake and some are genuine, and after this they set off for Lan Ning's. Funny though is they're only on foot for what seems like 2 seconds, and Kelvin sort of catches up with them straight away. The 14th prince, and check out the lighting and natural light Sammo gets in these forest scenes. He really does make the most of it, and as I say, the film looks absolutely beautiful. So Prince 14 kills his men and stole Kenny's rightful place. Suddenly a fight breaks out involving everyone, and make no mistake, this is Saw Play movie through and through. This really could do, they really could have, they're like with Eureka, they really should release this with Blade of Fury, because them two movies, I think Blade of Fury was made in 93, but they, as I say, Sammo doing sort of kung fu new wave Saw Play, and the two movies do sort of go hand in hand together. So Blade of Fury has T Lung in it, but I say they could really do like a Sammo Hung Saw Play double bill. Kenny gives Faye and Xian, Maggie's character, a J to take to Landings, and everyone just randomly grabs a horse and bolts it at this point. They get to Landings and tell him that the 14th Prince is going to attack, and so begins our love story as Andy meets Anita Moy here and is smitten right away, but she is just too busy having fun with her kites at this point. Landing wants Anita playing you to go with them just as some baddies turn up, and sort of these other people that were flying kites get slaughtered as well. So they get this other like love triangle going on as well. So Faye and her escape, leaving her dad and Maggie to sort of face the music at this point. Anita is all upset because she killed someone and can't get the bloodstains out of her robe. And, you know, what does Andy cook for them their evening meal? What does he make them? You know, they're hungry, they're in the wilderness. What does he make them for an evening meal? Well, he just cooks up a nice, juicy, tasty anteater, of course. Yum yum. So all is chill, then they get ambushed by this masked assailant all in black, and I can't stress enough, if you watch this movie, pay attention to the music as it really stands out, especially compared with other Hong Kong movies that were happening at the time. The soundtrack in this is just awesome, really good. So after a fight, the masked person randomly just leaves. In case you haven't guessed, Anita plays a princess, just so you know. And Sammo really does make the most of all, like I say, the natural light he can. The cinematography, I think Arthur Wong definitely was involved with the cinematography, but really, really awesome stuff. And that's the thing, when a lot of people watch Hong Kong movies, kung fu movies, they just watch it for the fights, but there's loads more going on with them than that. And as I say, really, I think Arthur Wong, doing the cinematography, does an outstanding job. So after fighting this masked assailant again, Faye gets stabbed, so the dynamic changes. Now it's Anita who has to help Faye. The music here really goes menacing and sinister as they try to find their way out of this forest with all these fawns. And she's sort of as well actually giving him a piggyback at this point. And at this point in the movie, it also as well just becomes about Anita and Andy. Kenny and Maggie are all but out the picture at this point. It just becomes basically about Andy Lau's character and Anita Moy's character, because Andy's sort of all smitten with her. She's meant to be going with Kenny, but Kenny actually but Maggie sort of likes Kenny. There's sort of a whole thing where all the characters sort of like one of the other, and it's a bit of a love triangle going on. I say Kenny and Maggie all but gone at this point. She tries to heal him with this magic powder from a shellfish, grinding them together or something like that. And they both have these sort of jade pendants. And yes, the film does slow down a bit here as these two sort of have a moment. She says the pendants have always been a pair, and the twist in the tale is we learn it was actually Maggie Cheung's character who was the assassin, and she was tasked with taking out Kenny for Kelvin. You with me? Just using their real names just to keep it simple. So even as I say, characters do disappear, and we haven't seen our villain for ages, but we do see sort of Maggie reporting to him at one point. So Andy's all jealous as Anita likes Kenny, and he was under the impression they were sort of falling in love and bonding. They all go back to the royal tomb, and I've no idea what their plan is at this point, to be honest. I don't even think they do. I don't even think the characters at this point even know what they're doing, because like I say, they're still wanted. They still have pursuers after them. So the 13th Prince and you are set to be married, and the wedding is being brought forward so it's being brought forward for the best reason in the world. They're bringing the wedding forward so they can combine their armies. That's why they're doing it. That's a good enough reason to get married, right? Just so we can combine the armies. So Faye gets promoted to general, though he doesn't want the title and misses the village life, misses the simple life. Unfortunately, though, the film again does slow down a bit, but with a great cast, great looking film, and amazing fight scenes, you can't really give Moon Warriors a bad review. As the boxes it sort of needs to tick, it more than accomplishes. When a film is only 80 minutes, it does achieve what it sets out to do. Maggie is torn between what to do and where her loyalty lies. The film, as I mentioned, as I say, it's only 80 minutes. The story does run out of steam anyway during sort of the middle third, like it's a full-blown momentum. Then it almost comes to just like a complete standstill in places. Anita says farewell to Andy, which is quite a tender moment. It's just a shame their romance and love, it's sort of just glazed over. I think Sammo maybe could have embellished that a bit more. He could have made a bit more of a deal of the loves. I mean, obviously, like I say, with time constraints and schedules, would probably against the film's production. But it's almost like, although the film does slow down, it would have benefited in them slower scenes, in them romance scenes, to just make a big more of a deal of it. So we become more upset that Andy's like sort of lost her, and it, like I say, you know, like that it's not glanced, like sort of glazed over. And there is quite a nice bit of dialogue here too, when Kenny asks Andy, was there any trouble on your trip? To which he replies, if there was, I can't remember it, meaning despite all the hardship and trouble they went through, he just enjoyed and loved spending time with Anita Moy's character. And we have a great fight between Anita and Maggie, and you get all geared up, like, oh yeah, bring it there, Anita Moy's going to first Maggie Cheung, you think, oh right, this is awesome, and you think, right, let's go, and then the 13th Prince comes in and just stops it. Kenny comes in and just stops it, just as they're really about to go into it. It's just so annoying. And it's one of their movies that, though very good in its own right, like I say, the trailer I always felt made it look more awesome and epic than the film actually is. Still good, still worth checking out, still a great Sammo Hung movie. But as I say, very short, but you, like I say, everything it sets out to do, you get. You get drama, you get love story, you get swordplay, you get great choreography. There's a few little funny scenes here and there. You get nice performances, there's great location, great cinematography, great music, and I say, and all that in a nice little 80-minute bundle. And that's why it's sort of, you can't really fault Moon Warriors. It's not that it's perfect by any means, but it's still a really enjoyable movie nonetheless. And for 1 hour 20 minutes, there's a lot worse ways to be spending your time. I say really, really good on that. But I say, so annoying when he stops the fight. So Anita recognises the wound on Maggie's hand that Faye gave her earlier in the Forest of Thorns. So really sweet moment when Maggie walks away from Kenny with tears as she likes him. She likes Kenny. Andy likes Anita. Anita likes Kenny, or Kenny as well, or Kenny likes, I don't know. There's a bit of a, as I say, there's a love triangle going on. But anyway, Maggie walks away with tears as she likes him, and I think he likes Anita and Faye likes Anita, or whatever. So after a music montage, it ends with Faye's village being raided. Andy gets to do his thing here. Obviously he's double for quite a bit of it, but still very enjoyable action scene. And I love when they're fighting in water. We get water splashes on the camera lens as well, and for some reason it just works and it looks so cool. Like they're fighting in this in this bit of water, but it's nice because you get splashes on the camera lens, and Sammo decided to keep that in because it does look pretty awesome. So Brother 14 catches up with Kenny. Andy vows revenge as all the villagers are dead. I mean, quite right. If all your village is dead, I think it's only natural. He's going to want revenge. Faye's pet whale steals the show, by the way. And the final showdown, love when Kelvin whirls like weapons around, hurling like concrete floor tiles flying when he fights Kenny and Maggie. He then hacks Maggie to pieces, and yes, spoiler alert, she does die. Maggie Cheung does die in this movie, which is it's done super quickly as well. Again, it's the fact it does happen so quick. The emotion is there, and then it sort of disappears because it happens. Then it, as I say, it just goes. But Sammo really has a thing for water in this movie. Really, there's a lot of water stuff going on. So Faye shows up to avenge his fallen villagers. Suddenly Way the whale turns up and bitch slaps 14. Yes, really, he gets taken out by a whale. Anita slashes his eye, and would you believe she dies too? Andy gets impaled in this like giant stone tablet and falls on this tablet falls on Brother 14. Then the film ends bizarrely with Faye sort of narrating, saying he randomly woke up in the sea with Way, and we learn the tomb collapsed with everyone inside. So bit of a bleak end to the movie. It ends on a bit of a downer. And I thought it might be the way it's played at the end. It might be like it almost comes across like, because you take it on face value that Andy got out at the end, when this tomb collapsed, but it's almost like he's sort of in the afterlife, or like it was all a dream or something like that. Just sort of the way it is and the way he's narrating it, it's almost like he's looking down on what happened. But yeah, it's taken that he got out. But really, really enjoyable movie. If you haven't seen Moon Warriors, go and check it out. Say Sammo Hung directing, he's not in it, but it's still a great film from Sammo. Really short, but with a film with Andy Lau in it, Maggie Cheung, and Anita, you, as I say, you get a great cast in this movie. But check out the score, check out the cinematography, and then ferocious, awesome, kinetic fight scenes that are just absolutely out of this world. As I say, really intense, and to say probably some of the most aggressive, especially swordplay fight scenes that I've ever seen. So make sure to go and check out Moon Warriors. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you again soon.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.